John Nelson Darby believed that the Jewish nation would have to be renewed in heart before receiving what he termed the earthly blessings, or promises of Canaan. In a series of lectures given in Geneva in 1840, he outlined the chronology of events as he understood it. What has happened to the nations by their having had governments given over to them? They have become beasts. So the four great monarchies are called. Once the government is transferred to the Gentiles, they become the oppressors of the people of God. First the Babylonians, secondly the Medes and Persians, thirdly the Greeks, then the Romans. The fourth monarchy consummated its crime at the same instant that the Jews consummated theirs, in being accessory, in the person of Pontius Pilate, to the will of a rebellious nation by killing him who was at once the Son of God and King of Israel. In the meantime, what happens? First, the salvation of the church, the iniquity of Jacob, the crime of the nations, the judgment of the world, and that of the Jews. All this becomes salvation to the church. It was accomplished all in the death of Jesus. Secondly, all that has passed since that stupendous event has no other object than the gathering together of the children of God. Then what takes place? The church goes to join the Lord in the heavenly places, and the marriage of the Lamb will take place. Where will the nations be? The government of the fourth monarchy will be still in existence, but under the influence and direction of Antichrist, and the Jews will unite themselves to him. Dear friends, as soon as the church shall be received to Christ, there will follow the battle in heaven. Satan will be expelled from heaven without being yet bound, but he will be cast down to earth, and will raise up in particular the apostate part of it, which has revolted against the power of Christ coming from heaven. Under the conduct of Antichrist, the fourth monarchy will become the sphere upon which the activity of Satan will then be displayed, who will unite the Jews with this apostate prince against heaven. This wicked one, having joined himself to the Jews, and having placed himself at Jerusalem as the center of government of the earth, will be destroyed by the coming of the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. And Christ will anew occupy this chief seat of government, which will become the place of the throne of God on the earth. The remnant of the Jews is delivered and Antichrist destroyed. The first thing then, which the Lord will do, will be to purify his land, the land which belongs to the Jews, of all the wicked, in short, from the Nile to the Euphrates. It will be done by the power of Christ in favor of his people, reestablished by his goodness. When the people are living thus in peace, another enemy will come up, namely Gog, but he will come only for his destruction. It would seem that in those times there will be a discovery much more calm, much more intimate of the Lord Jesus to the Jews. This is what will take place when he descends on the Mount of Olives, where his feet shall stand according to the expression of Zechariah 14. Blessing to the Gentiles will be the consequence of the restoration of the Jews and of the presence of the Lord. Those who shall have seen the glory manifested in Jerusalem will go and announce its arrival to the other nations. These will submit themselves to Christ. They will confess the Jews to be the people blessed of their anointed, will bring the rest of them back into their land, and will themselves become the theater of glory, which, with Jerusalem as its center, will extend itself in blessing wherever there is man to enjoy its effects. Instead of the adversary in the heavenly places, Christ and his church will be there, the source and instrument of blessing ever new. The glorified church will fill the heavenly places with its own joy, and in its service will constitute the happiness of the world. Behold the heavenly Jerusalem, witness and glory of the grace which has placed her so high.